Hey everyone, just waiting for Neetu to join me. Can you hear me? Hi, we are here for JURU's Soulful Saturday session, where we invite yogis to go live and talk about yoga as a life journey, yoga as a practice. And today we have Neetu joining us, Director Total Yoga, to talk to us about yoga as a life journey. I'm just waiting for her to join me. For those of you who are live, just let me know if you can hear me. Hi, I just wanted to know if you can hear me. Hi, Neetu. I've sent you a request. Hi. Can you hear me,
Hi,
Neetu?
good morning, Pooja. I can hear you.
Good morning. Okay, great. So I think it is, what's the time now?
I think
Yeah.
11:45.
All right. Yeah. So I think we'll get started. So how are you?
Very good, thank you. How are you doing?
Amazing. Glad that the lockdown has finally come to an end.
Chennai had lockdown.
And I'm very excited. Yeah, we did. We did have a lockdown. It's like partial lockdown, right? So restricted outings, etc. But yeah, so it's come to an end. So that's good news. And I'm very excited about starting Soulful Saturdays with you. So we have Neetu here, who's a director of Total Yoga, yoga teacher for over 15 years now, Neetu, if I'm right.
20.
20 years. Okay, great. That's wonderful. So that's a long journey. And today the topic is also about yoga as a life journey, right? So my first question to you is, in ancient India, yoga was more like a lifestyle. It wasn't something that, you had to take time off to practice. It was a way of living. Whereas today, the focus is so much more on goals. Like I started yoga to lose weight or to gain more flexibility or because I was stressed. So it's become very goal specific. And I think this kind of hampers the very essence of yoga, where people can benefit so much more if they understand the meaning. So when it comes down to the teachers, how do you think they can introduce this concept at the very beginning to any seeker who comes to yoga? Because I think this may help them, in not seeing it as, okay, I've enrolled for 1 month and that's it, and it's done. Or if I achieve a headstand and it's done that way.
Thank you, Pooja. This is, I can say, very common thing nowadays I find with teacher and student both. When I talk about
Yeah.
teacher, let's say start with, as you asked me, what happened? As a teacher, you need to respect same time as you have a certain way of looking at yoga, and a student is certain way they are looking at yoga. That's why it's a student and teacher relationship. What
True.
concept student has and what experience, that's why I say for teacher, experience has, it's two different level. That's why they come to you to learn something. Now, in that process, there will be people who are coming who have just short-term goal, as you mentioned, about weight loss
Mm-hmm.
or therapy. That's another thing nowadays common. If let's say somebody has
Yeah.
back issue, knee issue, any runners, anybody lifting weights, or anybody long hours of work, they always, if you see, a common thing is spine and knee injuries. Always
Yeah.
their doctor advise them, go for yoga. And that's how they look at yoga. Things are changing big time, no doubt. Things are changing big way in internationally, another part of the West. India is still taking little time. But same time, my suggestion will be always when they come to you as a teacher, you should take the path of what they want to learn, because that way you will impact them and make them understand yoga is beyond that. But first you need to come to their level. I remember my guru himself, he used to tell me, Neetu, you need to come to their level to teach them. If you understand that, then the problem will be not there. There will be still people who are coming for short-term goals, as you mentioned. We can't make everybody understand, but as a teacher, you should have an authentic approach, as you mentioned. Authentic approach, when I say, that's how you can pass the message what somebody wants to really know about it. So many times, their goal is not at all about meditation. Their goal is not about reaching something else beyond this world or beyond the concept. Their goal is very much because they live in this world, right? In four corners. To come out of that, to be a student spending at least 3-4 years to understand. If you see Pooja, the teacher itself, they also have short-term goals. That's why they also take lifetime to explore themselves and to understand yoga itself. So for both of them, it's a journey. I can take it through a story, because always I feel and I believe storytelling helps people to understand what it is. So I remember when I started 2003 and 4 teaching, I had an amazing student. She was a big time painter. I'm not going to take the name, painter. And I used to teach her. She used to have lots of joint issues. And mentally also, as we say nowadays, mental issues very common. She had some stuff, like she gets angry very quick, no patience, but she was an amazing artist. So I used to teach her a few months I taught. And then my master was visiting one day. And he asked everybody, we were 7 of us. It was a Gurukul kind of system. We used to stay together and learn. And those days, he used to stay with us. So he was asking everybody, how is your teaching going? What's happening? How is your own practice going? So all these were happening. Then it comes to me, and I was I can say just been 2 years of teaching yoga. So I said, you know what, Bharat? When one of my students, her name is Shalini, when I teach her, I can see through, she has no interest in pranayama. All the time her eyes is open, scratching, something is going on. Do you know what he told me? Neetu, it's your learning. And I always say my student also, it's your learning to be patient. She's not your level. She has not come for that. Right now she has pain and aches. So as a teacher, it's your responsibility to first work on that, and then she'll be more calmer, because those pain and aches and her mental state is little taken care. And it's really stuck in me. Whenever I train, and any teachers, other day only I was just coaching somebody and she said same. She's been teaching from 5 years. And she said same, Neetu, how to tell a student, no, this is not your goal. Goal is much beyond in yoga. I said, first work through this, because that's your learning to be patient, calm. It's perfectly fine if they are understanding only this much. But always this journey is both together. So I hope people are you can ask me anything if you'd like to know.
Yeah, anyone has any question? Because I thought that point which you mentioned, that it's not just a short goal for the student, it's also the teacher. You know, she or he also has to be aware all the time that it is not goal-specific teaching, right? So I think once they understand that, their journey also becomes more compassionate. Right. So yeah, that's a beautiful point actually, and I think they should try and even stress on TT, in TTCs nowadays, because even the TTCs have become shorter and shorter now, right?
20 days.
It's come down to
about 20 days, Pooja, 3 weeks. How do you do it? I have no clue. Like I spend it morning and evening learning, and afternoon used to be philosophy. And I remember it lasted for 1 year, which was really hardcore. And after that also, as I said, I was living with my master. The learning was every second. So of course it was totally
Yeah, true.
different. But right now it's becoming shorter, and I also feel sad about
Shorter and shorter.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so let's hope that, the teachers, because yoga is such a beautiful practice that sooner or later it will inspire you to look within. So let's trust that process. So next is because, all these beautiful photos you share, especially the recent ones with the travel mat up north somewhere. So you're a traveling yogi, right? Conducting retreats all over the world, I would say. So there is a lot of travel involved. And since we're talking about yoga as a life journey, so do you have any tips for traveling yogis? Because now hopefully travel should open up again. I'm really looking forward to it, right?
True.
And then we have, regardless of whether you're going for a holiday, even if you're going for work, yoga is a tool which, you can use to do away with all these time zone differences, or even the journey in itself could be a little hectic, right from the weather, food, all these changes. So how do you keep up with your practice, and what tips would you have for travelers?
So before starting the tip, I will again start with the story. I remember 2019, first time it was traveling to UK. And it was, of course, we have our yoga studio in Derby. So conducting some workshop there and other places. I was staying with one of a student, and her house, UK and other part of Europe also, how small houses are. This was a big house, but there was a construction going on in her house. So there was not much space. In my bedroom also, if I need to practice, not much space. Living room also, in the morning, lots of things goes on with the family, right? So I remember I got my mat, and it was your mat only. I came out from her house. There is main road comes, and there is a small pavement, a thin, narrow pavement. People will laugh on me. On pavement, I put my mat, and I practice on that pavement. I'm trying to say nothing stops a yogi doing the yoga, because for me, it's not yoga, by the way. It's part of me. Wherever I am, like I have little bit, let's say I'm sitting for long, I will just feel like doing little bit or correcting my breath if something is going in my head. So that's how you should apply yoga off the mat, I say, on the mat, of course. But that's the reason the weather, temperature, time zone doesn't matter, because you want to breathe yoga. You want to eat yoga. You want to live that life. And it comes. It comes. I'm not going to say it comes in few years. I can say it will come to you, but you need to make the effort always. That's how it will become part of you. So for me, I will give you a tip about it, how to reach that. Now, remember, you reach any destination, wherever you are, and suddenly you feel your joints, especially sitting for long hours in flight, train, anything I'm talking about, bus also, your knee and back is one thing, you feel little tight. As a yogi, as a teacher, that much awareness, I feel you will get it. So then what you feel like? Simple. Marchiri asana, such a simple, right? To move your spine. You don't need much space. And that's the thing I told all the fitness people. Yoga doesn't need space. Very little space will also do. So Marchiri asana, Paschimottanasana for hamstring hip to open up. Such a small thing. Only one round Surya Namaskar. Hold each one for 30 seconds, 1 minute. See the change.
Yeah,
or the prana will flow. Such a simple techniques. I'm not saying spend 1 hour, but at least 10, 15 minutes. Then sit down in dhyan. Spend again 5 minutes. Just put an alarm. If you feel distracted, play a Ohm Chant. Ohm Chant again it's a universal sound, right? It's nothing to do with religion, by the way. So you can just play at the back. Such a simple thing, because that will help you to connect and calm, soothing feeling. So these are the few things which I personally, for myself, I do it any which way. But for the people who are getting into it and they find it saying, oh, my family, my kids, I don't expect from any teacher those kind of, I call it excuse, doesn't exist. You should be in love with yourself to do anywhere.
Anyway. So one thing, Neetu, I wanted to ask, in cold places, right? So when you are practicing outside, does it take a little while to warm up the body? And pranayam, like would you start with pranayam in the beginning or later? Because they usually say, right, in indoor spaces, AC, etc., avoid pranayam. And but where it is unusually cold, if there's snowfall, etc., which pranayam practice to begin with? Is it important to first warm up the body and then proceed with asanas, or is it the other way? First do asanas, warm up, and then?
Okay, so when I teach classical Hatha Yoga. Always pranayam to start with. I'll tell you why, and whether also I'll tell you, and end also with pranayam. So both in the end and starting. Now pranayams are different kind of pranayam. Some pranayam to energize, open up your system. Some pranayam to calm you down. So here when you start warm up, you should start with some Kapalbhati to lift, rise your energy. Same time, Nadi Suddhi will be nice pranayam, especially activating the right nostril because Surya Nadi. These are the small technique as a yoga teacher. You just do 10 times, at least 3-4 times in a day, and you see how the temperature of body changes. So these kind of small techniques, in the end, you should practice pranayam sitting in dhyan because you have finished. You have already reached that zone in the end. You will comfortably sit for 10-15 minutes. If people are little agitated also, still they can sit for 5 minutes. So this is I can say, a technique. Let's say a student is feeling warm on a beach. How to cool your system? Activate the left nostril, this Chandra Nadi. So these are the yogi. It's like fascinating to know the science of yoga is you can do anything. That's why I tell all the teachers and students, remember, puja, me, take example, we both will always, and you will go through same life situation. Situation will never change. But how I, puja, and you respond to that will change. And that's what a yogi makes the difference.
Yeah, that's a beautiful point, actually. That's why we say yoga as a tool to live life, right? So, any questions anyone has with regard to whatever Neetu spoke about, or if you would like to ask anything else? Because we're going to end this session with a short meditation. I request Neetu to guide us through. We were talking about being compassionate, aware. So if you could guide us through a short meditation, which could help us build this awareness, useful for both teachers as well as beginners.
Perfect.
And then we will see if there are any questions.
Thank you. So all of you, wherever you're sitting, just find a place where you can sit in Siddhasana or Vajrasana, because I know Padmasana can be difficult for some people, but Siddhasana will be easier. Close your eyes. Give yourself a minute with me. Remember, as you inhale, connect body, breath, and your space. Space can be I'm sitting on the mat. You can be sitting on the cushion or ground. Exhale, releasing the tightness from your neck, shoulder, and all the way down. 2 more breaths. Today we are going to practice compassion, love. So bring your both the palm into pranam mudra. So palm together. Your thumb should be touching between your heart center. Smile on your face, same like Buddha. Scientifically, smile will help you to be present. Now, visualize there is your friend or whoever is very close to you. That person palm is around your palm. Same in Pranamudra. Fingers are facing upward. Take 2 more breaths while feeling your heart connected to your friend heart as palm is pressing together for both of you. Now you are exchanging energy with your friend and your friend with you. This is the touch, so you can feel it. You can feel the prana moving in the system. You can feel whatever the person is right now going through. Keep reminding yourself about the smile. Stay here for some time. From here, it's your journey. Some of you feel almost like magnet. Both the friends are holding and exchanging the energy, the vibration. Some of you might feel few tears in your eyes or warmth in your palm. You can stay here for 10, 15 minutes, as long you feel. There should be no hurry. We'll end with 3 Ohm Chant. Breathe in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Begin to rub your palm. Place it to your eyes. between your chest to your navel, all the emotion, whatever sensitivity you have, it begins from your navel, from your stomach. Namaste, everybody.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Just seeing if we had any questions. If anyone has any question or feedback, you can ask us now, or we're going to save this session. And feel free to connect with Neetu direct, Neetu_yogi. And join us every Saturday. Either it'll be in the morning, 11:45 a.m. IST, or evening, 6:30 p.m. We are going to have teachers joining us and talk about yoga as a philosophy and as a practice. Thank you so much. And thanks again, Neetu. I think we have what is the right time to do meditation?
Yeah, perfect time is morning. But if some of you say you're not a morning person, you can. And that should be always before going to bed. So you end up with all the work and everything, so your mind is very much settled.
Great. Morning or evening. And it's not important to be empty stomach or...
Yes. So preferably empty stomach. That means, let's say if you had a fruit and you're sitting, or some nuts, that's perfectly fine. Full stomach, your body will be lethargic, remember? And mind will be also not there. That's why we say better to be light and then sitting in meditation.
Any more questions? That was love with yoga. Okay. I hope we answered. Thank you. Thanks for asking.
You.
So should we end the session, Neetu, and take the questions later if they comment, or should we wait for some more time?
They can write directly also, no problem. Yes. Thanks, Pooja, for hosting
thank
me.
you so much,
it was
Neetu.
lovely connecting with all of you.
Yes, and thanks for joining us, everyone. Thanks, Neetu, again. You have a wonderful weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, see you. Bye-bye.